everybody knew that Puff took Tupac blueprint and changed Biggs and Bad Boy in.
So we knew something was going on. We just started following them.
Right.
Two young paramedics
I was driving.
were working nearby.
I had been a medic for roughly 5 years.
I was 22 years old.
Jim and Shane, now Henderson firefighters, have asked us not to use their last names because they're concerned about
Tupac Shakur's story continues to haunt the world. Now, shocking new claims suggest he may have pulled off the greatest escape in music history. From talk of body doubles to secret exile in Cuba, the rumors refuse to die. And with Diddy's empire falling apart under scandal, the timing couldn't be more explosive. Could Tupac still be alive, watching from the shadows? Stay tuned. By the end of this video, you'll be questioning everything you thought you knew.
$1 million check, right, that they put on Tupac to get him hit.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is that if Puff has said on a couple of records that he'll pay $1 million to, but he was just talking to people randomly. So now everybody's saying that, and Keefy D said that Puff told them that he'll give him $1 million. House of Blues, Tupac was alive at the time. Tupac was in a white drop-top Rolls Royce, Suge was in a red one. We rose up to Pac, Puff tried to speak to Pac. He like, yo, what up, Pac? Pac looked at him and turned his head. Puff and Pac was cool at one time. We know this. Mopreme said that they was gonna sign the Bad Boy. So if he's gonna sign to Bad Boy, it was because of Corey.
The downfall of Sean Diddy Combs feels like something out of a movie. But this time, reality is stranger than fiction. What once seemed like an untouchable empire built on glamour, confidence, and billion-dollar branding is now collapsing under federal indictments and shocking court filings that read more like crime thrillers than legal documents.
Give a if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change. She on the red carpet with Tupac shirt on. Who's obsessed with who?
As shocking as it sounds, whispers suggest he may not have been just a flashy mogul, but the mastermind behind one of hip-hop's darkest mysteries. The night Tupac Shakur's reign ended in Las Vegas. Prosecutors now allege racketeering, exploitation rings, and secret tapes that could lock him away for life. His name has reportedly appeared nearly 50 times in sealed police transcripts tied to that deadly ambush. And while Diddy proclaims his innocence in a New York courtroom, one thing is clear: former allies are finally breaking their silence.
His image. Pac was the first one on the scene wearing Versace shirts. He went and got the same Versace shirts Pac had. Which, alright, some dudes would do that. You would never catch me wearing something else, something that somebody...
One insider didn't hold back, claiming the truth is being hidden to protect powerful brands. They say those tied to Diddy's infamous sessions are desperate to bury their secrets, because if the public ever found out, their entire image could be destroyed. That's where Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, comes in. Unlike most, he was on the inside, riding in armored SUVs, watching from penthouse suites. And now, he's dropped a revelation so staggering it makes Diddy's current charges look like just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. According to Deal, Tupac Shakur wasn't the reckless hothead the media portrayed. He was playing a deeper game. Tupac knew a setup was coming. He understood the bounty on his head was rising, and instead of waiting to be cornered, he staged his own exit.
Like just one
Deal
piece
claims
of
Tupac didn't just adopt the Machiavelli persona for music. It was his survival strategy. By deceiving his would-be executioners, he disappeared from America and built a new life abroad under another name. And here's the twist that changes everything. Even Diddy himself, the man accused of orchestrating the hit, was fooled. Imagine Diddy sitting in boardrooms, basking in platinum records, convinced he had eliminated his greatest rival, never realizing the victim had sidestepped the bullet completely. Deal's testimony doesn't paint Diddy as the ultimate puppet master, but as someone who had been outplayed in his own game.
So you believe Diddy, he only got with Sarah Chapman because Pac, he had her at one point.
And it was a bet in the office. Sarah was messing with an NBA basketball player. Puff bet all of them believe that he could get it within 2 weeks. $100. So she actually was a $100 bet that he got.
And who?
Picture Diddy gloating in private, believing he wore the crown unchallenged, only to later face whispers that his greatest rival might still be alive. It's almost Shakespearean. The legendary East Coast versus West Coast feud, long remembered as a tale of tragedy and loss, suddenly looks more like a carefully planned long con. Seen this way, the idea alone is enough to shake the very foundation of hip-hop history. Even Gene Deal put it bluntly when reflecting on those old rivalries. Yes, Tupac and Biggie had their differences, but he insists it never went deeper than that. The real story, he suggests, was always unfolding behind the scenes.
About the other one as well. Where do you stand with what happened with Tupac? Do you think Biggie was a part of it? You think Puff was a part of it?
I never heard Puff say anything about doing anything to Big. Tupac or Suge.
Right.
I've heard people around Puff say things about that, but I never. Came back downstairs, he was heated. He said, yo, Gene, I got 126 employees, and these people depend on me for their livelihoods. If these white folks thought or they would think that I had anything to do with any kind of, they wasn't going to, and they not going to with me. He said, I'm a businessman. I'm about making money, but something got to change. I don't give a if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. Something's gotta change. And he took upstairs, he turned around and walked back upstairs. And it didn't dawn on me what he said. And then my man looked at me and Bun was like, yo, that dead Big.
The hints were always there. Fans obsessed over the Machiavelli album with its eerie subtitle, The 7-Day Theory, and the cryptic line, "Exit Tupac, enter Machiavelli." Some even pointed out that rearranging Machiavelli spells "I am alive." For years, these details were dismissed as morbid Easter eggs from a young artist fascinated with death. But what if they were something more? What if they were instructions? A code from an artist who studied Machiavelli's lessons on deception and survival? If Gene Deal is right, the album wasn't a requiem. It was a plan. Then come the strange inconsistencies. The coroner listed Tupac at 6 feet tall and 215 pounds, but friends knew him as 5 feet 10 inches and 168. The autopsy photo, with its blurred tattoos and odd angles, never convinced the public. And the cremator who supposedly handled Tupac's body, he retired immediately and vanished. That disappearance sparked decades of rumors. Was he silenced for helping switch bodies? Was the corpse even Tupac at all? The emotional toll was real. One grieving voice admitted that losing Tupac felt like being frozen in time. While the world moved on, they remained stuck, still mourning. And yet the stories only grew stranger. Former security officer Michael Nice swore to TMZ that he personally smuggled Tupac out after the hit was ordered. He even claimed Fidel Castro approved the escape and sanctioned a body swap to make the illusion believable. According to Nice, Tupac wasn't gunned down in Vegas. He was flown out with Black Panthers by his side, first to Barbados, then to Cuba. Nice recalled Tupac himself co-piloting the plane, shaking hands with his rescuers like a man stepping into legend. But just as Nice promised to release proof, he was found dead under mysterious circumstances. Coincidence, or another casualty of burying the truth? And still the sightings never stopped. In Havana, locals whisper about a man who looks uncannily like Tupac strolling the streets in a bandana and shades. His beard is thicker, his frame broader, but the eyes, those eyes are unmistakable.
How Tupac Shakur would look like if he were alive today.
Some claim Tupac has been spotted in places as far apart as Belize and New Jersey. Online, grainy photos even suggest he's posed with Beyoncé or 50 Cent. Most are dismissed as doctored, but they keep the belief alive. Even Snoop once hinted at the mystery, saying, "No one's been arrested because Tupac's not gone. He's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar." The deeper you look, the less it feels like a crime scene, and the more it resembles a stage play still unfolding. Even his own mother once suggested he chose to leave quietly. Was that poetry, or a coded admission that he walked away on his own terms? And then there are the endless posthumous albums, each one sounding so alive, so current, that his voice never truly seems silenced. When someone asked if all of this might tie back to the strange events around Wendy Williams, the answer was simple. Of course. Everything circles back to Gene Deal's stunning claim. Tupac wasn't blindsided that night. He saw the betrayal coming. He knew the cost of staying independent in an industry where moguls acted as both kingmakers and enforcers. Instead of bowing down with millions on his head, he flipped the script. Machiavelli wasn't just an alias. It was his survival plan. Deal suggests Tupac may have built a secret life in exile, waiting for the perfect moment to return and expose the man who thought he ended him. The cracks in the official story appeared early. Rumors swirled of a body double swapped into Tupac's hospital bed to stage the final act. The coroner's report didn't match. The rushed cremation was treated as the ultimate red flag. To some, the chaos outside the hospital wasn't panic at all. It was choreography. By the time Suge Knight appeared bandaged and in shock, Tupac was already on his way to a hidden runway, vanishing into the Caribbean night. Official statements and blurred photos kept the public guessing. But the man himself, he may have slipped away.
Somebody met me at the back and said, "Go help my buddy," and in my buddy's car. So
Right, which ended up being Suge Knight. Whole car, was riddled with bullet holes.
Death Row Records co-founder Suge Knight was the driver of the BMW Shakur was down in.
We brought the gurney up,
over,
just pulled him out.
pulled him out, and that's when, everybody was yelling, Tupac, Tupac, and I leaned over to the cop, and I go, this guy has the same nickname as that rapper. And the cop, looked at me and leaned over and was like, this is him.
So, is Tupac really gone, or has he been hiding in plain sight, waiting for the perfect moment to return? The clues, the whispers, and the contradictions refuse to die. One thing is certain, hip-hop history may not be what we think it is. If you believe the truth is still out there, don't just watch. Join the search.